Hey drawing people, I wanted to say hi and show you where my studio is at again and what I've been up to. I just did a demo for our class so you can see it. I set up a table here with the light and my tripod, and then here's my barn again, my art barn. Here's the drawing that I just did the demo on, so you can see that. And the last couple days, my big project has been building these two tables. So I built two work tables, and this whole place was just full of sawdust. And so the nice thing about these tables, this is the first work table I've ever done. I've done some that I've repaired stuff, but I've never done from the scratch. One of the things that I came up with is that when I first made them, they were too high. And it was high for me, and then if anybody else who comes in here who's shorter than me, they're just harder tables. But the idea is that they're wheels and you can work on them. And then I have a big wall that I will be doing some artwork on. That's the whole main idea, is to be making art out here. So today we're going to look at materials that was on our list that we've bought. So I have white paper, I have a piece of compressed charcoal or a Conte crayon, and these are all exploration stuff. So now we're exploring our materials. So remember how light we were talking about drawing? Like light, and then going down to something that's heavy, right? So there's the darkest and the lightest you can get with a piece. Or put it on the side, and then you get these really cool abilities to make marks off of that. Like, that's amazing. And then you can do also, there's your light to dark, light to dark, light to dark, right? So I'm working on gradations. One of the challenges is on working with paper is that white paper is you can't go any whiter than that. So with a simple paper towel then on this, then what I want to do is I want to get some grays. The whole trick about drawing is about values. How do I get values happening? And so here's where I've gone in and I've pushed so that there's actually no white in here, right? There's no white in here at all. And then what this will allow me to do is to use an eraser. I can come in here and I can erase out lines, right? So that's one of the erasers, and the other ones are the kneaded erasers, and these are where you can actually turn them into shapes and get angles with them. And these are nice because they don't leave stuff on your paper. And you can also get in there and do lighter areas, right? So how do you make something lighter? How do you make something darker? This is how you do it. You go in there and you start pushing and pulling your drawing out. So that's really how you're going to get an interesting drawing happening, is this pushing and pulling. You can go back in there and work it, go back in there and work it. Now, working on a medium value or something's darker, then this gives me the ability to go lighter and whiter. Right? So this is how I get something to go up higher in value. And then also, these are my chalks. I actually like to snap them all in half. I'll do that later to all of them, but then it gives me two pieces. And if you're working with people in collaboration, then you've got two. So pull out your pastels, and the same thing. See what they look like. Like, what do they do? How light can you go, and then how dark? What does each one of them color-wise do? And you can do it on different papers, so then you can see it like, oh, it's different on that, and it's different on this. So these are these tests of materials. Just have these around. Have these tests of materials. The next one then is, let's go into watercolors. So watercolors then are used for drawing a lot. We're going to use them for drawing. So what I did is I put a little bit of water on each one of these first. So you always want to put some water to get them wet. And then, so now I know this one's already wet. In my sketchbook, then I want to see what it's like. What's that color look like? And what's it like when it's dry? And what's it like when it's really thick? And then what's it like when it's thinned out so that it has a lighter value to it? And I'm going to go through each one of these. Okay, so now it's like, let's see what green looks like solid. A solid watercolor green. This might even have some blue left over. And then washing it down a little bit. What's it like lighter? And then what's it like really light? So you're going to fill up your sketchbooks with watercolors. And the other one is India ink, right? So I have waterproof India ink. And the Indian ink is the same, it's the same thing. It's going to give me a super solid black line. So if I'm going to be like I can actually be drawing with my paintbrush. In solid lines, right? So there's going to be times in our sketchbook that we're just drawing. We're just drawing with our brushes. You can even make up some fun, interesting calligraphy. I even work with my other hand just for the heck of it. I can kind of do fun stuff. And then later on, what we're going to be doing is we'll be watering these down until we get 3 or 4 different values of grays happening. And so this will be there will be a whole class where we just mix our India ink down, and then we've got values. So often then we'll be coming back into drawings and putting in our values. We'll just be blocking them in with ink. So then, let's see. So then the next piece to do, we're going to do a large page. So everybody needs a large piece of paper out, and we're going to explore. So large piece of paper. What we're going to do is we're going to try to coat this whole thing really lightly with our Conte crayon, our charcoal. So I want to go over this so light. So there's the beginning of something, not too heavy and light enough that I could start seeing some eraser lines in it. That's the main thing I want to be able to see. Is I want to see some lines. I want to be able to see some lines in here. So now I know that I can go lighter. And then now I'm going to go darker too. And so this is this is about exploring, like what's all these different ways that I can explore something. And so it's really about turning up the music and seeing what happens.